People who are motivated to do things, how the fuck do you do that? I am always trying to hook future me up so life can be a bit easier rather than a constant slog. If I get stuff done now, then I can relax a bit more in the future, and that really makes me motivated to keep pushing. I don't wait for motivation anymore. I just do what I need to do. Half the time that I don't feel like doing, this feeling goes away within minutes. Yes, motivation is not the answer, self-discipline is. Breaking down the massive task into bite sizes helps. Want to climb that mountain? Just take it one step at a time. Focus on the next ridge. Acknowledge and reward your progress with breaks, snacks. Focus on the journey rather than the destination. When you've reached your summit, talk about the tremendous accomplishment and try not to think about the next mountain. While in the context of hiking, the principles apply to almost every task, no matter how big or small. Edit. Thank you all for affirming this philosophy and for your thanks, especially to the very kind people who awarded the post gold. You're all awesome, and I wish you all success in all your future ventures. Always start small. It's not about tidying your room. It's, I'm going to take all my cups downstairs. While you are doing that, you may suddenly get the motivation to also wash the cups. And maybe the plates that are on the side. And while you're at it, maybe your waste bin near your desk can be emptied too. And if it doesn't lead anywhere, well, your task was to take 5 cups downstairs. You succeeded. You can get that little boost of success. A few weeks ago, sweeping my back garden ended up leading to me completely repainting the fence, fixing a few broke panels, and building a new arch over the gate. From small acorns, it's really about making it a habit. Getting up and being motivated to do something comes easier the more you push yourself to do it. Discipline is the key word many people overlook. Nested within that is integrity. Motivation is fleeting and needs its embers to be frequently restoked, else the flame goes out for good. Discipline is a conscious decision one can make. Maintaining it inherently includes being honest with the person you see in the mirror. And therein lies the integrity. So make PG's personal guarantees to yourself and hold yourself responsible. Prison. It's a pretty big incentive not to go back. I have a nice apartment, good friends, slowly building a support system, no way I'm going to give that up. Coffee. Turn everything into a precise routine and make it more efficient than the day before. E.g., combining an audiobook with commuting to work before after rush hour and using the extra time for a workout. Making dinner with the cleanup in mind. Sleep schedule with sleep hygiene. And stop talking to lazy people. They will brainwash you into watching too much TV or being on the internet too much. Being homeless for a year did this to me. As my high school physics professor once said, you won't claim you're tired if a bull was chasing after you. This depends. Right now I would say I would let it kill me, cause I didn't even manage to get out of bed. It's 11 p.m. right now. Not really much internet usage. Most of the time I was phased out of life and imprisoned in a strange thought process. But when I really get chased by a bull, I think my body could manage to get the flight hormones to override my depression. Edit. Thanks for all the comments. I'm surprised and really happy about them, monsieur. I'm not really in a strong depressive episode. I had depressions in therapy and I can get therapy whenever I will. I live in a country with universal health care and I won't lose money or my job when I really need to go to a hospital for this. Furthermore, I learned useful coping mechanism during my therapy, but I relapsed on weed for a month. Yesterday was day 1, which makes me a complete mess mentally, and if my body will respond in his usual way, I'm going to experience a hypomanic episode during the next weeks. There is absolute no way for suicide because of the extreme amount of self-esteem boost combined with a shit ton of happiness. Thanks again for all replies and I wish you the best. Step 1. I'll just do 5%. But I'll do it now. Step 2. Meh, might as well keep going. Step 3. Wow, I'm finished. Now I'm motivated to do more. Quote, "The thing I realized is that motivated people don't magically feel like doing things. They just actually do things. It's action, not feelings. You know how you have a thought, I should go do XX, and then you kinda push it off for whatever reason? Maybe you are waiting for a commercial, or to feel like doing it, or just another 5 minutes. Act immediately upon having the thought. Try not to give yourself time to realize you don't want to do it. I made it into a game. If I think I should do something, I try to immediately do it. It's like jumping into a cold pool. By the time I realize I don't feel like doing it, I'm already started." I also heard a saying years ago, "Done is better than perfect." It's constantly proven itself to be true. But honestly, Nike figured it out years ago. Just do it. It really is that simple. Greater than done is better than perfect. This perfectionism is the mother of procrastination. People who do things badly are still doing something, while those who strive for perfection rarely leave the planning stage. Motivation is bullshit, comes and goes on a whim. I think what you want to know about is discipline. Motivation is a false god. You will never want to do things that are hard or unpleasant. Discipline is the true path. You must force yourself to do those things even though you don't want to. Honestly, concerta, I always had trouble beginning tasks. Once I started them I could power through, but always felt overwhelmed to start. I was an adult and diagnosed with ADD, and concerta literally changed my life. I am able to work, clean, take care of kids, stay fit, all because I'm not having trouble starting. Even when I skip a day I'm able to do it all because good habits have been ingrained. Seriously, if you struggle with motivation, maybe you have a brain like mine and can fix it. I came to say basically the same. Adderall. It doesn't exactly give me energy as much as it gives me the focus to continue any task once I've started it. I still really struggle with the initial physical motivation, but once I'm moving I'm extremely ambitious mentally and can finish all my tasks. Before, they would have been overwhelming and I would give up halfway through. So often in fact that I eventually just never started. I found a medication that works for me, for something I never knew I had, until I was 33. The motivation comes from knowing that once I get started, the medication keeps me focused on whatever I set out to do. That is something people really should consider when struggling. Adderall. Funny you should say this. I'd rather not have ADHD, but Adderall definitely helps motivate. The thing is, it just puts me on a level playing field with everyone else. But if you don't have ADHD, look out lol. Yeah, I've also got ADHD. And the reason Ritalin works so incredibly well on me is because I spent so much time in after-school tutoring learning how to manage my learning disabilities. Long story, but because of my public school pulling shit with my dyslexia accommodations, I couldn't safely get an ADHD diagnosis until my 20s. Stimulants don't teach you how to create and use a calendar. They give you the ability to sit still, focus, and fight through time blindness so you can create and use a calendar. But if you don't know how to create and use a calendar, it's not that helpful. Clean your countertops and wash the dishes before going to bed so you don't wake up and be tasked to clean for half an hour to a whole hour cleaning while hungry just to have a clean dish. Pots to cook, then eat. Set the coffee pot to start around the time you get up just before bed so you don't have to be groggy and trudge around the kitchen and wait another 10 minutes. Start your dishwasher, laundry washer now. Let the machines work for you while you nap. Designate at least 2 days to clean bigger stuff. If you let it go and collect instead of keep up, you're gonna wind up losing an entire day washing, drying, and putting away load after load after load of clothes until the day is spent. Not to mention the dishes, too. Just don't let it get so bad you have no underwear, no dish, no silverware clean. Just keep on it before you get to that point. It sucks. I'm lazy AF. By the way, I do it because I'm too lazy to waste my whole day cleaning. Rather lose just one instead of 12. Been there, done that. It's hell. Your sink will not get less gross. Only more gross the longer you leave it. So the least bad time to clean it is immediately. The results. Routines are the base to my happiness. So I push myself to do stuff. For example, I wanted to start working out. So I had to really push myself for the first few months. But once it became a habit, and what's more important, I saw my body looking good. It's as normal as brushing my teeth. Result. That's the key word. Always looking forward to the end point. Without it, there's no reason in doing anything. Get a hard-working girlfriend. My girlfriend works from home. Is also studying a PhD in pre-lockdown. Works for a charity on Saturday mornings. It's a constant reminder to look at myself. Now I'm not as motivated as her. She's the inspiration, but I have to find ways to motivate myself. I will say something like, okay, I have to watch this statistics lecture. Then I can go on Reddit for 10 minutes. If you can stick to it, it works well. Having a super productive girlfriend makes you feel a bit more accountable to stick to it. That's actually an important point. A lot of us are influenced by the energies of people around us. A hard-working soul can cause you to be more active than you would be otherwise. Just by hanging around them. My spouse is way more amazing than I am, and I know a lot of my accomplishments are because I looked at them as an inspiration and example. So, if you don't have a hard-working soul, try to find other people to be around that get stuff done. Even if you feel like you're less motivated than they are, you're probably more motivated than you would have been all alone. Wild guess, no ADHD. It's one of the major misconceptions about ADHD, because the word hyperactive is in it. People without it automatically assume that just means someone with excess energy but no ability to focus in it. In reality, for me at least, it's not the same for everyone. It's my mind that's hyperactive. Without medication, I'll start something, and within a few minutes my mind moves to something else, and I've completely forgotten about what I had just started doing. The therapist that diagnosed me put it perfectly. My mind is like a TV flipping through the channels, but I don't have the remote. Think about it like trying to get into a cold pool. You just have to jump in. Once you start, motivation comes naturally. Fuck motivation. Fuck discipline. The real problem for most people is that 99% of what you're told or expected to do is bullshit. Utter grade of bullshit. How is anyone supposed to be motivated about making money for someone else? For pushing paper around an office endlessly? For commuting an hour for a job you could do at home? Find something you care about and work at it. And be consistent. Doesn't matter what it is. Doing a niche podcast I thought no one else would care about with a friend during the recession in 2012 started me on a path to a career. It got me out of a slump, out of depression, out of the tiny mining village I lived in. It inadvertently enabled me to travel the world and led me to run my own small business. Am I going to be rich? Maybe not as far as my bank balance goes. But I've had an incredible 8 years. And while I may not always jump out of bed motivated and disciplined, I actually care about what I'm doing now. It means something to me, and that keeps me doing it. That's way more important. I don't mean to sound dismissive, and props to you for making it out, but I always remember survivor's bias. The talks that all the famous people say about just going for it and giving it your absolute all. Well, for every one of them there is 1,000 of people who gave it their all, who put everything they had and owned into that thing, and failed big, and are now wrecked for years to come, if not the rest of their lives. Read the book Tiny Habits. Motivation is unreliable. What you should aim for is making the task as easy to start as possible. I.e., put flaws in visible sight and easy to reach if you want to do more flossing. Find a logical place in your day to consistently do it. After you brush your teeth, and commit to doing the 30-second version of it. Floss one tooth. You are always welcome to do more. Over time, it will be easier to do more. Don't think about it or wait for motivation. Just do it. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.